The White House being rattled by a series of scandals.
That's right, and the Wall Street Journal says that these scandals could actually threaten to swamp Barack Obama's second-term agenda. There are basically three scandals that his administration is facing right now. First of all, how he handled the killing of the U.S. ambassador to Libya in Benghazi last year. Also reports that the Internal Revenue Service, so the IRS, singled out conservative groups linked to the Tea Party for further scrutiny. And then this news that the Justice Department secretly obtained phone records belonging to the Associated Press. Now, all this is bad for Obama's image, and also it gives Republicans actually a new opportunity to really galvanize their base ahead of the 2014 congressional elections, and it lets them rally behind this idea that they've always pushed forward, which is that Obama has fostered an era of government overreach. And there's an interesting article in Slate today that also points out how conservatives, not just Republicans, but the conservative branch of the Republicans, how they're also cashing in on this idea that the government is overreaching its boundaries. And it points out that the Obama administration is actually making the case for conservatism better than Mitt Romney ever did by basically giving support to this conservative argument that the government is just inherently rapacious.
Now, the paper is also reacting to Palestinians marking Nakba Day, Nakba meaning catastrophe.
That's right. The Jerusalem Post points out that there were several demonstrations yesterday in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, sometimes that turned a little violent. Scores of people were injured. Sirens went off for 65 seconds, so to mark that 65th anniversary in a number of cities across the Palestinian territories, and Palestinians waved keys reminding people that they had a right to return. And there's another interesting article about Palestinians today, this time in the International Herald Tribune, about a completely different story. It's talking about smuggling between Egypt and the Gaza Strip, and smuggling something quite unusual, which is fast food. Now, there's a KFC that opened in Egypt, so across the border, and there's a young businessman in Gaza City named Khali Efranji who's really made this into a blossoming business in the Gaza Strip. So basically, it's a complicated and expensive process, but he phones the KFC in Egypt, organizes it for it to be smuggled through the tunnels, and then delivers it to people's footsteps. Now, it's not fast food because this whole process takes about 4 hours, but it seems like it's something that people in the Gaza Strip, which has been blockaded off, are really attached to. And he says it's our right to enjoy the taste that other people all over the world enjoy.
All right, now moving on to another story getting a lot of attention in the press, and that's a breakthrough in human cloning.
That's right. The Independent on its front page wonders if this is the shape of things to come. And it points out that, well, for the first time, researchers have created human embryonic stem cells from skin cells. Now, if you want a full detail of how this works, you should probably check out this good graphic in the Wall Street Journal today that can explain it a lot better than I can. But basically, scientists say this is a long-awaited breakthrough that'll help people with diseases and injuries.
And Hong Kong, there's an art installation that says deflated.
That's right. Now, this is a 16-meter-high rubber duck by a Dutch artist that's been traveling around the world since 2007. You may
I've seen the images, yes.
In Sydney and Amsterdam. Now, this was in the harbor in Hong Kong, but look, it started deflating. You can read about this in the
Earlier
Jakarta
than planned.
Globe. Earlier than planned. Well, a lot of people wondered, was foul play involved? Was this some sort of a conspiracy? But actually, exhibit organizers say this was all part of the plan. It's part of maintenance, and it will be, well, pumped up and floating around before too long. But this poor little duck, it looks kind of pathetic right there.
It does. Why would anyone attack it? Anyway, you never know. Maybe.
Well, that's the little circle is actually the completely deflated duck. It'll be up again, though.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Florence, for taking us through the international papers. You're watching Live from Paris. A reminder of